Hi there, Sandra here from Createinspain, and today I'm doing these mechanical cards. Now this is just an illustration to show you what happens. It's very simple to make, and I'm going to show you how to do a proper design. I have one of my fishes which you might recognise, and we have this one which goes like so, and I also have one of my rabbits. I am doing a design of a mouse in a hammock. Now yes, I know that hammocks don't go side to side like that, but you'll have to give me some artistic license. I mean, mice don't wear clothes either, and they don't generally sit in hammocks, so why am I going to be bothered about the fact that the hammock goes side to side like that instead of that way? Now, I've got a few extra pieces which are going to complete the design, and this one again is for my design stash so that I don't forget how these things are done and how they're made, and I will be keeping it as an example. I have a little brad. We have our card base, and this is what you're going to find in the file. Now you cut out two of these and you stick them together. What you want to do is to line up the hole with the hole on the card front, and you want to mark roughly where the circle is going to be. Now it should be the same all the way round because this is in the centre of the circle. Now if you're wondering, you can place this elsewhere, so you could place this further back, but whatever it is that you put on your stalk here, your arm, it is not going to be, if you put it in a different position in relation to the slit here, it is not going to follow the arch precisely because that will be off. So if you're designing some yourself, you want to have a centre hole, you want to have a small ring around it, and then your larger ring, and this is still the centre of that larger ring. And you can see there, I guess, that I did an offset on my ring so that I've got a nice slit for my arm to go through. So what's going to happen, my arm is going to go through here and up the other side, and it's going to line up with a hole on the back, and I'm just going to put in a washer. Now this happens to be a thicker cardboard, which is better. I've got this cut out of a 200 GSM card, which really isn't thick enough to do this, but I've got more of that than I have of 350 GSM, so that's what I've used for my demonstration purposes. Just going to put the brad through there and open it up. You don't want to make it too tight, you want to make it so that it will move freely, and there it does. So this bit here, you can put your object on, whatever it is that you're using, and depending on the shape of it, you might want to leave the two sides here that you've got two pieces joined together. You might want to leave the last bit of it not stuck together. I'm not going to bother with that at the moment, but if you don't stick it together, you can then fold one half backwards, and then you have a larger area that you can stick your item onto, whatever it is that you're using. So if I put him there, I know anything from down there I can see. So I want to chop off another bit of this arm, chop that off, and I'll put some glue on the arm so I can place my mouse. So this couldn't get much easier, really. It really couldn't for a mechanical card. I'm just putting a little drop of glue on there, nothing too much, and put my mouse there and let him dry. Now this piece here is simply cosmetic, and it's going to go over the top like that. I'm going to put my foam on here because it makes it a lot easier to see where it's got to go. I'm going to avoid where that arm goes, and I can put another piece up there. Then we want to move it all the way to the other side and put some pieces on here. Now, if you want to alter how far that goes around, you've got a couple of ways of doing it. You can, if you want to, put something on the back of here to stop it. I've done it on one of these somewhere. Here we go. So if you put something on the back, obviously it cannot go round any further. It will come to a full stop. The other way you can do it is to limit how much of this line you cut. It's from a full circle, and you can, in the design, you can erase as much of this as you need to limit the movement. If you only want it to move a little bit, then you don't need much of this. If you want it to move much more, then you give it more of this small circle to enable it to move there. Because a small distance here transfers to a large distance on the bigger area. So I can put this on top of here. I've still got a bit of a bump there from that. But what I could do is actually flatten the brad itself if I wanted to. I could put a pair of pliers on it and flatten the brad so that the top dome was flatter, or use a flatter brad if I had one, which I might well do, but yeah, I'm not going to bother with that at the moment. It's not too bad. As I said, this is just for demonstration purposes. I need to put a stopper on my mouse to stop him hitting that piece there, which is going to support. On that side, yeah, I need to put a stopper round about there. So just take a piece of card, and I've got a piece here, a little dab of glue there, and a dab of glue there, and a piece of card goes over. Put it round to that side, and you want him to go up that far, and cut off another piece. You could just use paper, you don't have to use card, it's just I've got this to hand so I use it. Can't come to any harm now, and I can put on my top layer. So here he is, he can disappear up into the trees. There we are. This bit you just need to trim off at its longest point. So it is going to need to come off round about there. Now if you want to, you can fold it. You can put some writing on it if you so wish. So we have that bit done. I've also done this offset here because you could almost hide the mouse completely if you were going to do that. But I've put this piece in because there are options in the file that allow the mouse to be further up. So you might decide that you want to have the mouse further up and put another piece here. I would put, on this particular one, I would just put it under there to reinforce the area because it's a thin card. Now I did make a mistake on this particular piece of the file when I did it. I had the cut line slightly off for some strange reason, I don't know why I did, but I've amended it in the file so it now goes from side to side. It was slightly short for some strange reason. But I would put that on the bottom and let those pieces go over the top. So just as a reinforcement. And then he swings in his hammock, which I think is quite cute. The other variations that I've done in the file, for example, on this one, this is like that. It's going from top to bottom, okay? This one here is going from bottom to top because you would have it up that way. But I've also done it so that you have variations where this is in this corner or that corner, whichever you want to do, and you can have something going in an arch that way. I've included different sizes of arches so that you can vary where you want your item to move from. And I've made the stalk plenty long enough, as you saw with this one. You just cut the excess off. it's far easier to cut the excess off of a long stalk than it is to add bits to a stalk which isn't long enough. So I've made it plenty long enough, you just trim it down to size and your job is done. So then you just stick this onto your card base, and again I would put foam on here. So I've put it onto a card base and now you can see you have this really sweet idea with a mouse swinging in his hammock. And obviously you can add whatever sentiments and things that you'd like to that, and extra decorative things if you want to. But it's a very simple way of doing a mechanical card. It's a bit of fun, kids will love it, and it doesn't take very long to do, which is even better. A very quick one in the way of mechanical cards. Okay, that is it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I will see you again soon. I'm planning on doing still more pop-ups and mechanics. Take care now.